South African tourism is embarking on a 9-province road trip to explore the country's unique brand experiences. And joining us now from our Cape Town studios to discuss the campaign is Thulani Nzima, he is CEO of South African Tourism. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the program.
Yes, good evening, Godfrey, and nice to have me here.
Thank you. I imagine it must be a tough job having your job. Talk to us about the strategy to get people to come to South Africa at a time when perhaps the country's image has taken the worst battering that it has ever taken since the end of apartheid and the onset of democracy.
It's actually a very exciting job, Godfrey, and I think privileged to be given the opportunity to lead the marketing of South Africa as a tourist destination. Yes, like any other country, like any other big city, there are these kind of challenges that we deal with. Every now and then we get exposure, but not of the kind of value that we would like to have. In all of these kind of situations, we give context to why certain things are happening and what we are doing as a country. Apart from that, South Africa is a destination that offers a variety of tourist products and services that are very much well sought after. This is the reason why we have succeeded in the past calendar year to grow our arrival figures by a double-digit number. This is double the number of the global tourist tracking number.
Yeah.
So we are doing very well. South Africa offers value for money as a destination. South Africa offers variety. And these are the reasons why we continue to be successful.
Could the country have been doing better, do you think, in the absence of these other issues that have distracted attention on trying to grow the country's share of our tourism industry?
I think, Godfrey, I don't want to apportion any kind of tourist decline to the incidents that we are talking about. If you want to bring context to the various activities that you are talking about, first of all, you may want to talk about Marikana. Let's all admit that Marikana is a labor issue that has gone wrong, but as a country, we are doing something about it. And the next one you want to talk about is the Oscar Pistorius issue. Is a domestic matter that has gone wrong. Again, the country has taken steps to deal with that matter. These are not tourist related. It doesn't mean that in the streets of Pretoria, in the streets of Johannesburg, we have mayhem, people shooting and killing each other. No. We have never seen any cancellations of international tourists coming to South Africa as a result of this. And the reason that is not happening is simply because people have come to contextualize the various events and found that, in fact, South Africa as a country is very, very safe. The numbers that we are talking about means people are voting with their feet. They are coming into the country. No, there has been no direct impact as a result of these various things, because we are out there together with our media friends, explaining and contextualizing the situation.
Absolutely. And I'd imagine now with the BRICS coming to Durban, there's been a big opportunity to try and grow the tourism market in a region traditionally that perhaps hasn't brought as many people to the shores of South Africa. So talk to us about BRICS and the strategy around growing the tourism cake with those countries that South Africa has now been partnered with.
Yes, we had the opportunity of hosting the BRICS summit as a country, and that gave us first an opportunity to showcase what Durban as a destination or KwaZulu-Natal as a destination can offer to the international tourist. The second thing is for South Africa as a country to also showcase its tourist experiences. The third thing is a connection between ourselves as tourist marketing agencies together with some of our key partners globally. We have seen a lot of growth coming from India, China, Brazil, and although from a low base, Russia has also given us some good numbers. China has become South Africa's fourth largest tourist destination, source of tourism. So it is growing very, very fast. In fact, for the period to the end of November last year, China had grown by 58%, giving us 122,000 tourist arrivals to our country. India doesn't fall far behind that. They have also shown a very, very strong growth. So we have invested in the right places as part of the BRICS summit, but our role as well as South Africa is to create a hub, either for investments into the broad regional African continent, or a hub for investment into Africa. But from a tourism point of view, I think we are well positioned. We have done very, very well in positioning ourselves as a link for the South-South corridor, making sure that we cover Brazil, China to the east, and India, as well as Russia.
Yeah. Talk to us about the type of tourists that are coming out of these new regions. Are these high-spend guys, or are we looking at guys who come in masses and therefore the spend is made up in the numbers?
Well, we are very glad to report that, in fact, most of the countries that we are talking about, specifically if we can talk about the BRICS region as an example, the Russian tourists are known to be big spenders, although not in big numbers, but the world over, Russian tourists spend quite a bit of money. The average spend coming from the Chinese market is at 16,000 per trip. Our total average as South African tourism stands at just under 9,000. So you can imagine that getting tourists from China in the kind of numbers that we are talking about is quite helpful and contributing very healthy to our GDP. The other one is Brazil. Brazil is also spending very, very well. You must understand that most of these markets are in fact hard currency markets. Not only are we getting tourists into the country, we are also getting them to spend big money. The 48% of people coming from China are here for business purposes. What it means is that whilst they are coming here as individuals attending conferences, they invariably bring with them partners who will be spending money. Whilst they are sitting in the conference rooms, the partner is taking an itinerary.
Absolutely.
Immediately after conferences, these people will continue to also explore our country, and then thereby contributing to our economy as well.
Let's bring the conversation home, because we also know that you're targeting the domestic market. Now, tomorrow, of course, you're launching a new strategy on going through all the provinces in the country. Quickly talk to us about that strategy.
Yeah, the essence of what we're doing now is a realization that, first of all, we need to strengthen our domestic market. It is very important that we begin to get South Africans to travel South Africa as tourists in their own country, for South Africans to begin to enjoy those kind of tourist experiences that many millions of tourists are coming into this country for year in and year out. We want South Africans to understand that it is actually affordable for them to travel within South Africa. They don't have to go out of the country to get a holiday experience with great value for money. We also want to indicate to South Africans that, in fact, all those kind of experiences are here at home. Now, what we generally talk about is an exposure of the various tourist products and experiences that lie in the various provinces. Where we sit as South African tourism is that we have the opportunity to always showcase and sell South Africa. But we understand that the provinces own the products. These are the people who make investment into either hotel infrastructure, transport infrastructure, and restaurant, and so on and so on. So the purpose of this trip is for South African tourism to be exposed to those tourist experiences that we are talking about, that tourists from all over the world come to South Africa for. We want to familiarize ourselves with that. We want to engage the key players in the various provinces in understanding, as well as getting feedback from us in terms of what are the challenges in terms of us growing tourism, growing domestic tourism, thereby as well influencing international tourism into our country. So the exercise is to go out there, engage provinces, expose ourselves to the tourist experiences, get to also unearth the hidden gems of our tourist experiences that are not generally in the itineraries of global tour operators out there. So the purpose of this exercise really is multifold, to really make sure that we get exposed, we get engagement, feedback from our side, as well as feedback from the provinces in terms of how can we improve domestic tourism, because we do want South Africans to travel their own country and enjoy those kind of tourist experiences that others come to our country for.
Absolutely, and travel they must. Thulani Nzima, CEO of South African Tourism, thanks very much indeed for discussing strategies to get South Africans to visit their own country through all the 9